My name is Mary Johnson Grant. I am an author, a storyteller. I do workshops, and I am so excited about life. Because what I was doing was reading Michelle Obama's book about becoming, and I said, she's just like me. And if you read that book, it talks about the kind of things she went through in life to become what she is. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. The things that I went through to become what I am today. As I grew up, I was shy and bashful. Got in a room, wouldn't say nothing. In a classroom, wouldn't raise my hand. I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to hurry up and get out. If the teacher did call on me, I'd say one word. And then as time went along, in high school we had speech. I don't know if they have speech now. Do they? I got up in the speech class, my legs was moving like this. I couldn't stop them, and I was trying to talk. And I said, I was so embarrassed. I was trying to hold them still. I couldn't hold them still. They were just moving like this. And I said, I'll never be able to speak in front of a group. Went on to college. In college, if you don't speak in some classes, you don't get the grade. Now, if I had to speak, I would speak. But if I didn't have to speak and they just let me write it down, I think I did well. And became a teacher for Detroit Public Schools. And that was my big challenge because, if you work with children, you have to keep them quiet and make them interested, help them to learn. So I began telling them stories. And they liked my stories. Their parents would come to get them. And then one little boy said, I'm not ready to go yet. Let me listen to the story first. I said, oh, bad boy too. And so I said, okay, this story thing must be real special. I continued to tell stories before they went home. It's kindergarten. And I continued on, and then my biggest challenge was they put me in middle school as administrator, but made me sub all the time. I had these big old boys in my classroom. One was 6'2", and I had to get them quiet. Hi, Miss Grant. They come in, and I said, it was social studies, and I said, how can I keep these kids quiet? Because I got to make them learn. So I turned myself into Sojourner Truth, and they began to listen. They listened to me tell a story, and then they remember what I was talking about. That's the whole thing. And so then I went down to Cope Hall and told a story about Sojourner Truth. And when I walked up, there was a line outside this door. I said, what that line is for? That was the door to my workshop. And I said, oh. And so we went, me and a friend of mine, Dorothy Robinson, did a workshop on Sojourner Truth. And we went well. And one lady said, girl, when you was telling that story about Sojourner Truth, the hairs on my neck stood up straight. And I said, thank you so much. So the second session was crowded too. And the people were so attentive and so quiet. And I said, is this really me? So I said, this storytelling must be really something special. And I met Ivy, and I said, you get paid for it too? Oh, it's true. It just seemed like something that I could do, storytelling, because I never thought I could stand in front of people and they would really listen. Children's one thing, but adults, they're another thing. And adults listen, and I said, okay, I can tell stories. I am a storyteller. And then I started doing workshops to go with it. And that really, story in a bag. I like that workshop. And I did that workshop. The people really, really listened well. And I said, this is real good. Then I started, my last year teaching, I had to say, Lord have mercy. I had a class where I was trying to teach them to read. I came in in November, right before December. And I was supposed to teach them to read. I was so mad at those kids. They wouldn't read. I told them, I gave them homework. They were 9, 10, 11 years old. And what they didn't tell me was those children were special education children. And I knew. And I knew, I said, what is big records? They had records about this thick. And I was in there getting ready to teach. I didn't go to the records first. I just went to teach. And then I said, let me check these records out. And then I checked the records. And I said, I see why their records are so thick. But I criticized them. I talked about them. You know how you get on the phone, Karen, girl, I hate all these kids, so I don't know if I can, I don't know. And then I said, wait a minute. When I was 9 years old, my daddy had to teach me to read. My mother had died. And so my daddy taught me to read. And I started telling that story about my daddy teaching me to read. I started telling that story. And some lady told me, you better write that story down, girl, because somebody's going to take that story. So I wrote the story down, I published that book. That was my first book. So I am an author. I write children's books. That was my first book. Then my brother calls me all the time, Floyd. He never called me when he was working. Now he calls all the time. And I said, Floyd, he had a fish pond. I loved his fish pond. And so I wrote, my next story was Floyd B's Pond. He entered in the science fair project, and so I wrote that. I said, God is just blessing me every day. Then I started thinking again. And I remember when I was a little kid, I was the youngest. In everybody's way, they always trying to, whatever sometimes they just say yes to get rid of me.
Yeah.
And so I had a problem with Sundays. I did not want to go to bed. I did not want to go to bed, and they had to, I tried not to go. So Shadows on Sunday, that's my third book. I wrote that book because the memories just keep coming to me. And I said, okay, I think I'll just settle back. And then I said, oh, I remember, and I was looking at my leg. I got a hole in my leg where I had jumped over this fence. When I was walking home, my sister left me, and so I was walking home by myself, taking a shortcut through the bushes. Jumped over a barbed wire fence, landed by some yellow flowers, and there was a caterpillar. And that's my fourth book. I got all four of them here. I have all four books. And this book just came out. Give me a drum roll, please.
That's right.
It's my fourth book, My Special Jar. I took the caterpillar, My Special Jar. I took the caterpillar home. They just, my family. And when I look at it, I just got in their way all the time. So in this story, it showed how I did things, and they always try to get, always talking about me. They still talk about me too. So I have 4 books that I have published. And I'm sitting down at the table and I said, I'm doing a Great Migration workshop in Birmingham, Alabama, November the 6th. And so I got another idea. March on, march on. My family and the Civil Rights Movement. That's going to be my 5th book. So this is my dad taught me to read, my first book. This is my 2nd book about my brother named Floyd, who had a science fair project. And then this is Shadows on Sunday. Now, and I think this is something important, because when I go to my family reunion, and I talk about these books and the experiences, how you share your things that you did, how we played jacks all the time, made mud pies,
Pick up sticks.
Mud pies. And we had, and you know what? We had Mary Jane parties. We had, you know what I mean? You know about Mary Jane parties? Not you, Stephanie. Right there behind you, you don't know. But we had, and we played, and we had fun. And yesterday I went to a school, and a little boy, it was career day, and the little boy said, he raised his hand, he said, did you plan all that? I said, no, it just happened. I did not plan to write a story. Life is like that. You know how one thing happens and something else happens, and like Stephanie was talking about her career. One thing, never did you know what was happening, what's going to happen in your life, And so, but what's important is that you make up some goals.